You are alive. Is it opposed to what? Come on. Ow. There we go. Hi, Google mods. Anybody else up in y'all? Let me see. Yeah, I shall return to your broadcasting in a moment. There's a few things I want to talk about today. First, we're going to make some distinctions between an air pistol, an air rifle, and a BB gun. Let's be clear. Everybody knows what a Red Ryder looks like. However, not many people know that there is a big difference. In fact, there's a chasm of difference between air rifles and BB guns. Just for retrospect, state of California Board of Probation allowed me to keep my freaking Red Ryder, but they took this air rifle. Okay? You can see it's an air gun. I know the silhouette makes it difficult. Any Hoosiers, I wish to make the distinction here because you and I both know that there is a reality of distinction. The state of California understands there's a reality of distinction. But unfortunately, at the community at large, they don't understand that there's a distinction. Now, this particular video was a requested video by one of our compatriots here, Mr. Lost Product. I appreciate you, brother. And yeah, it's a good idea. So we're going to do a couple of different things here. I'm going to run the Daisy BB gun, Daisy Red Ryder, against the water jugs in the background over there. So you can see that it is a non-lethal. It's basically the predecessor to airsoft guns. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show y'all that there is a chasm of difference between these particular air-powered machines. All right. Yeah. So, without further ado, safety squints, engage. We got a little bitty bigger hole, nothing much. So, yeah, that's a BB gun. Okay? Little itty bitty grandpa to eel airsoft. Now, we're going to step it up to the big boy. And by big boy, I mean 29 grain hollow point in a PCP air rifle. The old hot sun. Flash QE. Yeah, I'd say that's got a lot more oomph. Just for reference here, one more into that. So you can see it hits a lot harder. That's just an air rifle. All right. Now I'm going to step it up. And we're going to check out what the old Crossman can do. See, this gun is normally a subsonic shot with a 25 caliber. Interestingly enough, it's also amazingly powerful when utilized correctly. So I'm going to here drop a slug. As y'all can see, the slugs. I'm gonna, not just my air gun either. I'm gonna drop a slug into the barrel here, and as before, these are those 29 grain hollow points, dish base slug. Now, the difference between this gun and that gun is that this gun does not like to operate without dieseling. It's actually in the manual. Do not operate this gun without proper lubrication. Doing so can void your warranty. Well, I'm going to put a small measure of powder into this. And this, folks, is called Pell powder. Looks like salt and pepper. It really isn't. So, my measuring spoon. I'm getting too old for this crap. Where'd my measuring spoon go? Have it? Well, it would seem as if I've lost my measuring spoon, so I'm going to have to do this by eyeball. Oh. Larger grain about that. And yeah, I'd lose some. Go dusting in there. All them large grain in there. All right. That. Now, this is the 25 caliber Crossman QE. Or no, Crossman RS2 series. My bad. I get those two things up. All right, y'all. Now for the craziest test up. Whoa. Yeah. That'll do something. So those are the 25 caliber air rifles. And see, this is why I keep telling folks, it's not about whether it's a firearm or an air gun. It's all about whether or not it is capable of launching a heavy projectile. This gun right here can do it. This gun right here can launch heavier. Matter of fact, that one will launch a 52 grain slug. But this one right here, this one shoots a 50 caliber ball. And we're going to test this one in there. as a comparison. Now I'm gonna bring back the jugs for y'all. That's with an empty tank. I'm gonna have to try that again. Full tank. Yeah, I'll try that again with full tank. I used this the other night to try and drop a jackrabbit, and it was shooting pretty high. Yep. There wasn't a whole lot left in that thing. All right, so new magazine. Right. Ooh. Those things are expensive. That'll make a pretty big hole. All right. So, 50 caliber pistol or air rifle. No, I'm not shooting my 50 caliber air rifle in the backyard. Because let's be clear, there are some things that will bring cops like flies to shit. If it makes a big, loud banging noise, out here it tends to bring more unwanted attention than you'd normally reference for the rurality of the middle of nowhere. But, you know, folks don't necessarily get too bothered out here, I guess you'd say. I mean, otherwise I'd have a Karen so far up my ass I'd be able to smell her breath and tell her where her cavities are. But yeah, it's got something to it. Of course, it's not a 25 caliber air rifle. It's not going to punch a hole so far through that it'll freaking pink mist out the back end. But you know, it's a pistol. It's an air pistol. It's only supposed to move so fast. And the fact that it punched a hole, and I can go around in water with this thing. But I think we'll look at the damage. Ooh. There's the ball, undeformed, as y'all can see, completely undeformed. I could use that thing again. So does it make a hole? You tell me. I think it makes a hole. Does it go through both sides? Not like this one does. This one punches big holes. I have a BB in there. See, that's the difference with a BB gun. All right, this is a BB gun. There's a little tiny BB in the bottom of this thing, and it showcases that, you know, a BB gun is not all that powerful. All right, what's up, Jim Bob? Thanks for tuning in, brother. I'm about to blow your mind, because what most people don't understand is, but Jim Bob does. I go on, you know, patrols. I'd say they're a Minuteman patrol. It's basically you go out and you drive around, see if there's anything that looks out of place. If there is, you report it. Anyways, these are the guns I carry on my patrol. This is a Hotson Flash QE, 25 caliber. This thing will drop a coyote out to about 100 yards. And folks say, oh, well, it's an air gun. You're not supposed to use air gun. I'm like, dude, I'm going to point something out to y'all. Yeah, it's an air gun. It's an air gun that'll punch a hole through, you know, an inch and a quarter of freaking black pine. I think it'll do the job. That's a nice air gun right here. This one I like more than any of my other air guns. I have a 50 caliber air rifle. I have a 25 caliber Springer type air rifle right here, y'all see. All right. This used to actually be my carry-all. Billy, truth be told, nice to meet you. We met already. I know who you are. Anyway, so this right here is, you know, my normal. I'll walk through the woods with this and feel contented because this punch a hole right through some shit. But you know, a lot of people, they think, oh well, they, you know, it's just a pellet gun. And I'll look at them like, son, there is a chasm of difference. I'll be right back and I'll show y'all a pellet gun. This is my pellet gun. It's a Crossman 1322 in 22 caliber. That's a pellet gun. But it shoots slugs. All right, all right. I don't know why Lost Products his comments ain't showing up here, but I know you're watching, brother. I know you are. Anyways, so that's the difference between a pellet gun and an air rifle. All right, an air rifle utilizes air to kickstart a reaction, whether or not that's burning WD-40 or that's burning just, you know, silicone oil or whatever the case may be. It's burning something, and it all comes back to you know, this is not an air gun. A lot of people don't know that. This pistol right here is actually called a marker pistol, and that is because it can only utilize gas. It doesn't actually utilize any kind of dieseling. It can't utilize any dieseling. Unicorns, motherfucker. I'm about to show you a unicorn. All right, and you're about to shit yourself because, honest to God, you want to talk unicorns. This right here. This gun shoots a slug that's big enough to make you question your sanity. And it shoots it at transonic speeds. Yeah, that's a slug for an air rifle. I'm about to put this in here. Ouch. Good Lord, that thing's a hard fucking jogger. Hey, all right. Now, push that pellet down and in. Slug, pellet, listen to me. All right, now. Yeah, marker pistol is a 50 caliber air pistol. So here we go. This is called pill powder right here. This goes into air rifles, and you have to be a chemist to know how to make it because you can't fucking find it in a store. You pour that down into the chamber as much as you can get in there, and make a mess, of course, but as much of it as you can get in there. About a measure of, I'd say, 40, maybe 50 grain. Okay? Now, I'm going to fire this thing, and I want y'all to listen to it. And tell me this here is a BB gun. What's up, cuz? Ready to squint and engage? Oh. Watch, 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 watch. You see the barrel smoke? I'll do it again for y'all. That's how that's supposed to be operated. This gun right here is supposed to be operated by using something that literally explodes in the barrel. It's an air gun. People are like, oh my God, how can you have those things? You're not supposed to have firearms, motherfucker. This one's more powerful than that. And yeah, so what? I'm a wild man. I love being a little bit crazy, because if you're not a little crazy, you're gonna go crazy in this world. It's the only way to stay sane. Have a little bit of crazy. So, in retrospect, an air rifle is not a Red Ryder. No, I have plenty of these. This thing doesn't even make my backstop target up there. Literally have to aim higher than the target. This is not an air rifle. This is an airsoft gun. A lot of people don't know this, but the Red Ryder was the original airsoft gun. A lot of people that are my age and a little older, they used to play The song got me laughing up in here. Anyways, so this was actually the action that is utilized in all those different airsoft guns that you see, and you cock it and pop it and then cock it again and pop it. It's the same action that's in this gun. So in all reality, this is an airsoft gun. I know it shoots steel BBs, but it's an airsoft gun. Now I'm going to show something to y'all that'll blow your minds, because this right here is something that I basically came up with after seeing that you could buy shotgun shells for the Sam Yang on the interwebs, I mean, and then they stopped making them. They stopped selling them, all that. So I'll be right back. I'm going to show you those, and you guys are going to, this is going to blow your minds. Really. Sit tight. Okay. So these things are all handmade. Oh. And if you're wondering, the size shotgun shell or size wadding that goes into a 50 caliber Sam Yang is 28 gauge. Okay, that will fit inside of a Sam Yang. Now, I use those to make these, those and BBs. Basically tape up the top and tape around the outside so it holds like a shotgun shell, and that's shot loose in the wad, and that's legal for hunting with, and you know, in the state of California, any state for that matter. And because it's steel, because you can load these hand loaded with steel, you can actually hunt duck. These get better better strike value than the Air Venturi ones. This comes from the Remington Company, Remington Corporation. They make hand loadable shotgun shells. So you can buy this just as a regular reloading sort of a sitch and then make your own. These are shotgun shells for a Sam Yang, 50 cal. Oh, come on, focus, you fack. There we go. Yeah, I got a ton of them. Coyote lives matter. Yeah, they matter, and they turn into matter. I'm joking, of course. Yes, there's real men in fucking California. You just have to look hard enough, man. Chemistry, interesting physics, and artsy fartsy shit that mostly is retained by rednecks. You got to look for it, but it exists. Well, I'm just glad that these things exist, because, you know, not being able to have a firearm, it detracts from your cognizance of being a man. I mean, it literally does. It takes away from who you are. It makes it so that you feel less of a man when you don't have the ability to have the most capable technology there is. It hurts your soul. And I know a lot of people think, oh, well, you know, felons shouldn't have guns. Man, there'd be a lot less fucking felons if they had a legal right to keep and carry. And I'm just going to say that right now. There's always an option when you have a firearm. Once you don't have those, there's not always an option. And a lot of the time, folks go and take the wrong options. That's what I'm trying to do is fix the fuck ups. We don't have very long in this life, and you know, if you're gonna make a difference, you have to make a difference with the world. You know, you have to make a difference on a large scale for it to mean anything. And the easiest way of doing that is by taking, you know, technologies that people think are useless and turning them into technologies that people actually accept as being worthy of something, you know. Yeah, I used to have a katana. Can't have a long blade anymore. That's another one of the downsides of not being able to have firearms. That goes along with it. You cannot have a fucking long blade. And a long blade is anything that is considered to be like a sword, or I'm not even really supposed to have a machete, but you know, a bush knife or anything. Yeah, Jim Bob. Thank you, brother. Now, I'm a black belt in 4 disciplines. All right, so I'm going to tell you now, and I'm going to show you in about a second. It doesn't matter how badass you are at hand-to-hand combat, because the other guy's always going to get there first, and he's always going to kill you, because he's fighting for the same reason you are, to survive. So hand-to-hand combat doesn't mean shit. And you know, a lot of people, they think I'm bullshitting when I say this, but it does not mean fuck all. I don't show off my mixed martial arts to people because, yeah, it's useless. Fucking useless. When you're in a fight with somebody who's 3 times your size, you're gonna lose. I fucking guarantee it. It doesn't matter how badass you are. All right? I knocked a dude out that was 3 times my size. He got back up and he beat the shit out of me. And here's the scar from that. As you can see, it runs up my mid here. See if I can get you a better perspective. Yeah, right up here. Runs all the way up my midriff here. And he stabbed me right here. That's why I say my mixed martial arts, as good as you are, does not mean fuck all in a self-defense situation. The longer you're fighting, the more beat to shit you're gonna get. So, in that situation, are you gonna want an air gun? Are you gonna want a firearm? Or are you gonna want your fists? Because I'll tell you right now, I'm good with it. I can take any man down with a fist, but at the same time, just because you're good doesn't mean you're going to survive. And that's why I advocate air guns. That's why I advocate firearms. That's why I advocate that every man should have a firearm. And yeah, I feel that, you know, I do need that 1862 rifled 6-pounder. Oh man, that's too much. And Hoosiers. I guess I lost all of my viewing right there because everybody's like, ah! he's showing off a freaking scar. It's like, no, dude, seriously, it's to point out to you that no matter how badass you think you are, there's always somebody who's more badass. And I'm dead serious with you. Okay, let me point something out to you, Billy. It, where I come up from, it's different degrees. Okay, and a red belt is something you basically start out with by comparison. You start out with a white belt, I know, but it's basically something you start out with by comparison to having a black belt fourth degree or black belt first degree, like I have. I mean, I'm black belt fourth degree in kung fu. I know how to fuck someone's shit up, but at the same time, I don't ever want to fight somebody because I know what the results are. I've felt those results most of my life. That's why I learned how to do mixed martial arts in the first place. You know, that's why I learned how to do individual martial arts in the first place. It's because I know that a fight's imminent. It's always going to be a situation. It doesn't matter how respectful you are. And you know, I'm a respectful guy. I'm a nice guy. But when somebody steps on my dick, I don't just stand there. I'm not that kind of person either. I'm gonna fucking let you know. But at the same time, I don't try to start a fight. I don't try to look for fights. It's a matter of when you have to defend yourself from somebody who intends you extreme harm, martial arts is just delaying the inevitable. You know, I I'm lucky I didn't have to pay rent on my skill level. I had a Taekwondo master as a dad, and my mom was pretty heavy into karate. See, for me, it was Taekwondo from the Philippines, or Guam, actually, um, karate from Japan, Kung Fu from China, and Krav Maga from the Middle East. And then I got into air guns. It was basically measuring, you know, how violent could you be? And then if you could be that violent, could you measure how to be just as violent but with less effort? And that's where airgun stepped into the fore, because the reality was is that, you know, I learned this the hard way, and I showed y'all just a second ago. You don't get the opportunity to go, wait, time out. It doesn't work like that. There are no rules in a fight to try and survive. It's you kill the other guy or he kills you. And I'm not happy about that, but you know, I learned all the way from, you know, block to freaking power punch guy, all the way up to, you know, roll, deflect, grab, thrust, forward roll, and snap, which is literally a killing move. The art of punchy stick traps and shit. Oh, cause you make me go nutty. I know. Well, I was in Vietnam, so I can't really say too much on that, but I do know what a punchy stick will do.
Yeah. Ugh, man, freaking gnarly. No más porfas. um, but yeah, just a basic air pistol or air rifle. It's really all you need. Yo, Tom, what up, brother? Cat without the hat in the house. I'm sorry, did I say something wrong? My apologies. Try to keep that to down low. So I'm just sitting here showing off my air guns and goofing around. Basically being a nincompoop. I haven't gotten them seeds yet. I've been waiting, and every single day I walk out there to the mailbox just so they don't cook in it, you know. Um, they were supposed to be here yesterday, right? Pretty sure. Anywho, I'll keep an eye open for them. You know, it's just the way it is. It's funny shit because I've had an air pistol mailed, but I can't get seed through the mail. You know, I'm looking at it like that. I'm thinking, you know, on that level because it's just why aren't they here on time? You know, I use USPS all the time, uh, just because you know I'm adamant about my shit getting there, not just on time, but you know, without fail. It might come a little bit beat up, but it's gonna get there without fucking fail. That's why I like United States Postal Service. They make it a literal effort to just at least adhere to the morals they were based on. Oh, so my diesel recipe. Well, a lot of folks don't realize this, but pill powder is not a diesel. It is a nitrate. So that's different. But my most utilized dieseling recipe is what the old cell phone is a sitting up against. WD-40. That shit right there. That's what I use for dieseling. But my for my Crossman, I use this stuff. And this is something that I don't want to be telling people how to make because it could be misconstrued by folks as an explosive. Yeah, I see that, cat. It's all right. It happens. It's YouTube messing with it. And I know I've got like 5 or 6 viewers actually right now. One of them, he can't even comment, which is really pissing me off because I tried to unblock him in every single way. Um, and all the rest of it, I just, you know, shit happens. Anyways, yes, this is a nitrated blend. Okay, how do I make this? I can't tell you proportions. I'll tell you. I'll put it that way. I can't tell you the proportions. Um, but I can tell you what I put into it. Maybe that'll help a little bit. So the black stuff is not pepper, by the way. You may have already known this, but it is a smokeless powder for firearms. Um, the white crystalline substance is potassium nitrate or no, potassium citrate perinitrate. That's what it is. Potassium citrate perinitrate. And the yellowish stuff is uric acid phosphorus, and there's cellulose powder in there. So it basically makes a super celluloid. And that's what that is. Now, no, I can't tell you the proportions, because if I told you the proportions, somebody might go and scream, "Oh my God, he's making explosives. He's teaching people how to make them." Excuse me. Yeah, that's not okay. I'm not going to teach anybody how to make explosives. This is not an explosive. It's called an impellant. And the reason why impellants work a certain way, and I'll actually show this to you. This is something I can do on the camera here. You have to literally make your own type of saltpeter for it. So here, I am going to, on camera, show you why this cannot work in a firearm. It will literally never work in a firearm. Ow. Reach. Okay. You see that? It's not even really burning. It doesn't work in a firearm. So legally speaking, this can't be utilized as an actual explosive. It's an impellant. That's the way it works. It'll burn down to basically goo, but it will never actually explode, and it can never actually take off in its reaction. So it's not really what you think it is. It can't do all that. It's made specifically, formulated specifically to be utilized in an air gun. It actually cannot work in a firearm. Now, and here's the difference. Most of you know that potassium perchlorate was utilized as a reactant back in the day in order to make smokeless gunpowder, or well, smokeless gunpowder. This is phosphorus perchlorate. And you see, it burns quickly. Yeah, if you said you were making crack, YouTube'd probably be fine with it. It's not. It's basically something that can't burn in any other thing than the air gun it's made for. And that's literally how that works. It literally can't do anything in a firearm. I actually tested that theory once. I got my ass whooped for it. My dad used to have one of those Heritage Rough Rider 22 caliber long rifle pistols, and so I took a round apart and took some of this powder and I put it into the thing, measured it out to be exactly the same as the regular powder. I put the bullet back in and I fired it. Well, it didn't burn. So, not an explosive. It's an impellant, an accelerant that only is capable of burning so long as it's under pressure. And it conflagrates. It doesn't ever detonate. It literally can't detonate. So, in all legality, I've got something that couldn't actually be dangerous in anybody's hands. Nobody would be able to utilize this as an explosive, ever. So if you're watching me, YouTube FBIs, this is not an explosive. Oh, damn, those things are heavy though. All right, so you know how most firearms are about like 3 to 5 pounds, maybe 6 pounds at the most. All right. Oh, this thing is about 7.5 pounds. Okay, this is the low end of the weight as far as air guns are concerned. That's about 7.5 pounds. This one is 8 pounds. So yeah, they're heavier. It's actually why I'm so fucking skinny. The reason why they're heavier is because you've got to contain all of that pressure before using it. Instead of containing that pressure only while you're using it. And so a lot of people wouldn't understand that an air gun is literally the same as a firearm in a lot of respects. I say a lot of respects, not all. Namely, terminal ballistics. They are very similar in. Dude, I used to fucking carry a 4.5 pound 22 long rifle. That was literally my rifle. 4.5 pounds. With another 50 pounds on my back. I've breasted a 243. I've breasted a freaking a 223, and a little heavier, but they're not like these. No, this is. Let me put it this way: if you geared your AR-15 cut to the hilt, I mean everything. Just you've got flashlights and IR illuminators and a special IR scope and freaking extra mag wells that you can hold your mags on the side of your gun and a fucking pistol grip and super bump stock machine gun stuff. I don't care. All of that. This is still heavier. A lot of people look at me like, are you serious? That can't be so heavy. I go, here, hold. And they go, fuck. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's not a light gun. Not by any means. And, that's probably one of the lighter-ish models. Like I said, the one that I've got is about 6 pounds. The next one up is about 7.5. My 50 caliber Samyang is a cool 8 pounds. Easy. A cool 8 pounds, and that's with nothing on it. This thing with nothing on it is at least 7.5, almost 8 pounds. It's a very weighty rifle, and this is the rifle configuration. Imagine what the bullpup would weigh like. Oh, enough to throw you around. I used to have a 308 that was like 9.8 pounds or some shit, and the 99 Savage. It was the 99 Savage deer rifle. I love that thing. Honestly, that thing kicked less than some of my air rifles kick. That's the honest to God truth. That thing it was so heavy. There goes the bullet, and that thing hasn't, it's already discharged the bullet and all the gases, and it's barely started to move back into your shoulder. So yeah, 10 fucking pounds for that thing though. It was like, yee. Yeah, a lot of the time people say, oh, well, it's just a rinky-dink little fake-ass air gun. Okay. That's a rinky-dink little fake-ass air gun. Hear the BBs in it? Look at this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Come on. Come on, you temperamental bitch. I could literally hold this on one finger. If I could hold it. This thing's, what, 3 pounds? Not even 3 pounds. A pound and a half. I mean, literally, that's one finger holding that up. You try doing that with these other ones. Here. Oh, shit. I almost broke my finger. Right there. Ow. Yeah. Yeah, try and hold up your AR-15 with one finger. You're going to feel some weight there. It's the same principle. Yeah, these air guns kick both front and back. Okay. These ones don't. This is pre-charged pneumatic. So what it does is it actually ports air into the chamber right here. Okay. Air goes in and up and into the barrel and goes out that way. So an air gun isn't actually kicking back at you. When it's a PCP, what it's doing is it's all the force from the pellet or the slug forcing back into your shoulder, opposite equal reaction, just like a firearm. Whereas with this gun, it's the spring inside of this thing. And this spring is that long. It's a huge freaking spring. This thing kicks both ways. Yeah, I've had to take that scope apart a couple of times because it kicks both ways. So I know all about that one. Oh. Yeah, I like break barrels too. They're more, well, let me put it this way. Any day that I don't have to sit there and act like I'm pumping up the fucking Zeppelin, that's a good day. I could only afford one of those, either or a tank or a freaking hand pump. I said, you know what? At least I could put air in the gun. Hand pump. So that's why I did it. I like PCPs for the fact that I can walk out there into the woods and I can drop a coyote with a 25 caliber. But with a break barrel, that's not going to happen. Don't get me wrong, they look like they hit just as hard, but they don't. I've done testing to find out. And the real test is back over there. You see that plywood board just above my finger there. Right there. And that plywood board, well, the PCP will punch a hole through it. Just blow shit out the back of it. But the Springer, it'll take a slug and it'll smack the freaking wood so hard it'll leave the indentation impression of the slug, but it doesn't do anything else. The slug bounces right back out. So far as energy retention is concerned, the PCP is better. It shoots subsonic. As far as up close and personal knockdown power, the Springer is actually better. It shoots at transonic speed. So that transonic speed, when you're talking about a slug versus a pellet. Slugs have better ballistic coefficiency, but they also tend to have horrible aerodynamics. And in an air gun, aerodynamics is king. Okay. So let me see here. Oh, yes, some of my used slugs and pellets here. So this one is out of the Springer. You can see it's not really all that deformed. Not a whole lot done to that one. Let's see here. Ah, now there's out of the PCP. And immediately you see a difference out of the PCP versus a Springer. I mean, that's big difference. All right. Good seeing you, Billy. Thank you, brother. Go focus on your video games. So, in this here live stream, I have focused on the differences and the similarities between firearms and air guns. I'm going to leave y'all with this. Air guns can shoot real slugs too. And that's one that's a handmade slug for my 25 caliber PCP air rifle. That thing right there knocks some shit in. So, any Hoosiers, y'all let me know what you think. I mean, I already have a lot of folks telling me what they think out here in the comment section on the other side. But I leave all my comments turned on. So if y'all want to leave a comment and y'all, whatever, go down there to the commentator section and y'all taters let me know what you think. Love y'all. Have a good day.